For attending the second phase webinar today. Mark Kostavny will be doing the presentation for second phase. Mark, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks, Gary. Appreciate the time. Yeah, I'm Mark Kostavny. I'm president of Second Phase, and we've been doing web stores and product information management tools for distributors since 2003. We were actually chosen by one of the major distributors in major ERP companies in the country to take over their web commerce business in 2004. And that's how we started down this path. And now we've been doing nothing but wholesale distributor-focused web stores since then. And we now have over 160 clients in our platform. So today we're going to go into some of our e-commerce stuff, but we're going to focus on contractor procurement solutions. We've come up with a new solution for how we can get your contractor clients to use the site on a daily basis, which has kind of been the missing piece of e-commerce for B2B wholesale distributors. So we've had a lot of insight on that. Some actual contractors give us a lot of input on what they would like to see, and what you're going to see today is based on that input. But first we're going to give you a little background into Second Phase. Second Phase is a web development company focused on improving online sales for wholesale distributors and giving you 24/7 support. And as most of you probably know, this is where things are going. If you don't have a means of offering 24/7 support to your client base, they will start drifting other directions. We have over 150 wholesale distributors and top buying groups standardized on our customer portal solutions. That means that there's really a lot of resonance of what we're doing. We've had tremendous growth the last 5 years, and we think we're one of the top players in the B2B wholesale distribution e-commerce space. So our products are Cloud LSI plus PIM, which lets you manage and display your product content. So it's our PIM tool and intelligent search tool. We have our XML web commerce for Infor SXe customers, which is why we're on this call today, and it would be a direct integration to Infor SXe to get all the information you have in there out to the web store. And then we focus really strongly on custom features, which allows you to clearly stand apart from the competition. And this is where you start to see things fall apart with your ERP provided e-commerce platform or one of the mega e-commerce platforms out there, is that custom features is who we are. Really taking the product and making it uniquely yours and not some templated thing that everyone else is using and such. And then you can get those custom features anytime you want. So you don't have to wait for the next release or wait for the next millennium, as some things go and such. So that's where we think we stand apart from our competition, is the custom unique features and our price point detail we can talk about. So what it's all about in our mind, and every customer that takes this serious succeeds, everyone that doesn't does not succeed, is you have to cover all three bases: product content, PIM, and a web store. If any one of these three triangles is missing, you will not have a good platform down the road. You may get a few sales, of course, through it, but you need to have all three being solid. So important thing for product content, we have a partnership of Trade Service, the oldest provider of content in the country. They've been providing content for distributors for over 75 years. There's no one that comes close to that kind of experience level. And they provide rich data specifically for e-commerce. So if you already have Trade Service products, like eDataFlex and such, they were not designed for e-commerce specifically. Their latest products, e-commerce content products, are. So if you haven't had a talk with Trade Service in a while, we recommend doing that and getting their latest products so you can get even better data for driving e-sales and get the kind of taxonomy and attributes that will help raise the bar on your platform. Once they have that information, then it flows into our PIM, which allows you to take the information and prioritize it, localize it, and make it uniquely yours with the PIM. It allows you to create the daily project purchases that we're going to talk about today. It allows you to upsell and boost as needed. And it allows you to QA the data to make sure it's all good before it ends up on your web store when you have a bad experience for a client. All the stuff we're going to talk about today, every little piece of the conversation is what makes a great, successful store. You miss any key components and it starts falling apart, and then you start talking about, why am I not getting the number of sales I was expecting in my e-commerce platform? So finally, you have the web store, and as I said before, customizing is our thing. So when we say B2B your way, we mean it. Reorder focus, which is what it's all about in your world. Getting reorders to happen easily and effectively through the web store. Account management, of course, people can now look at their account, their full account in Infor from SX.e onto our site, so they can manage the account 24/7 using the 24/7 support features of the site. So this really is the foundation that we think of any good platform, beyond even ours, and saying if you don't see a good story in each one of these three, you will not have a good story when it comes to the revenue provided by your e-commerce platform. So let's get into Cloud LSI plus PIM. So first of all, it allows you to bring any data source into it through a standard API, and it can be automatically updated on a nightly basis from your ERP, from trade service, or any other provider of content. The PIM itself can provide content, and then vendors may provide you content as well. So any source you may have for content can flow into Cloud LSI. It's what it does best. It allows you to merge all that content, prioritize it, standardize it, and then edit it. Once it's all ready, it can then flow into our Lightspeed indexing, which is all part of the same product, and then it goes into the store for search and attributes and specifications and everything you need for someone to make a purchase. Also, when someone's looking for the product, it goes out to Infor and grabs real-time pricing and availability specifically based on their actual pricing matrices that they have. And then we have the ability to get any of this information out into a CSV file. You can also call this your data hub for other applications as well. So if you have other apps that need product data, you can use Cloud LSI for that as well, and then use this API to gather that data, or just grab the CSV file and export it. So let's go out and just look quickly at Cloud LSI. Cloud LSI is the foundation of our solution, so I'm going to focus on it pretty strongly. And it's also going to be the foundation of what we're going to talk today about, the Quickbuy Groups for daily product procurement. So I want to make sure you understand what it works. It's kind of the engine to our car. Without Cloud LSI, the car doesn't move. So let's go out and look at Cloud LSI specifically. This is a site driven by Cloud LSI. You can see it has the good refinements here based on good data. This is data that was created by trade service. And so the richer the data, the better the chance of someone going from 204 items to the product they're looking for, specifically, quickly and efficiently. So good data, and this is right out of the box. This is the kind of data we provide to buying groups and to individuals like you through trade service. And so this is day one, you have this kind of content to drive the experience. So to really help them figure out exactly what's the right product for them. And then of course, when they get to the product they're looking for, they have the good specs here, they have resources, QA, that kind of thing. There could be weight and packaging size and all that kind of information. All right here, all from day one, having that ability. Of course, it's getting the availability from the ERP, the price from the ERP, and that's what drives the experience. We also have the product review feature and such. You can have multiple images displayed here, or view this image larger as you need and such. Of course, Cloud LSI is also allowing you to do the type ahead search, and it'll bring down the keywords. And then later this year, we're going to have this ability to bring up product options that show up here. So the top 4 products that match what you're typing will automatically show up here. And then you can go straight to the product without having to do any kind of drill down of any sort. That's going to be coming out later this in 2018. We call it quick product select and such. So this is the product, it's site being driven by Cloud LSI. This is actually Cloud LSI. Here you see the master data source, which is the ERP, and we have other sources here feeding it. You can have as many sources as you want. We have clients of 20 plus sources feeding their data, and then you can change the priority by simply dragging and dropping and change the priority of the sources. So this is the first priority, the master, the second priority, and the third. If I want to change that back, put it back here, now this is second, and this is third. So it'll look for anything missing here, fill it in from here, anything missing here, it'll go here third. So if it finds it here, it'll stop and not grab any more data for that particular field. You can also, in Cloud LSI, prioritize at the field level. We call it smart fields. And smart fields allows you at the field level say, I have this many images that I want to I can display from here. These are sources of images. I have 5 different sources here. This is the first priority source, second, third, fourth, and fifth priority. If it finds an image here, it stops. If it doesn't, it goes to the second priority source and on all the way down. If you find a new source that has great images, you can just drag and drop it to the top, and that becomes your highest priority source. If you want to have all the images displayed, and not just prioritize, but include all of them, you simply pick this button, and now it says it's going to include all fields instead of prioritizing them. So you have with one click, you can suddenly have multiple images displayed on your site for this particular field. And you can see here, I have a smart description field, I have smart image, smart brand, and all this controls where the sources are and what it gets prioritized. So you can really fine-tune what ends up showing up on your site. So the site is always displaying the best possible image, the best possible content, resources, and everything by what you did in Cloud LSI. So a couple of clicks here can dramatically change how things work in Cloud LSI. Other things you can do in Cloud LSI, you can use it as the PIM. So say I want to come in here and I want to add some content at a bulk level. Let's say I want to add content to, let's scroll down here and pick valves. I have 1,237 valves. Let's say I want to add content to all 1,237. I come in here and I say, this is where I think you can stand apart from the national distributors who are taking e-commerce very serious by localizing your content. So say I want to add a building spec. And I want to add building code that's unique to my area that no one else would have. So I add these two here, and then I go to next, and then I fill in those codes and specs for these valves. So say the code is a B234 code, and the spec is an M987 code. And you hit those save changes, and now I've just added these building spec and building code to 1,200 items of a couple clicks. So you can just picture how you would use this tool to take the content you get from whatever source, from trade service, from Unilog, or wherever it came from, and then you can start adding additional features to it and make it your own and such, and hit save changes, and now you have content that's yours. It's not trade services, it's yours because you've added some localization to it. So if this tool, you can quickly do that. You can use the bulk edit we just did. Table edit allows you to use kind of a spreadsheet-like format and such, and do that. Another feature is you can then use this tool to do data quality and make sure that you have all the quality you need in your data. So here's an example. Here's a data quality report. These are the fields we're going to make sure exist in my data. Price, image, 2 different sources of images, 4 sources of images, status, and product description. So these are things that I think are must-have for my data. So I go over here and I hit run report. Right now it's running the report on 49,000 items, and you can see that status has got 100% coverage, description's got 100% coverage, that's why it's all green, but images here are missing some, but I have 4 different sources of images. So based on the smart field, I should be able to fill in the gaps of these images or such. But if I wanted to add any information, I can simply click right here in the red area and add additional images here, or I can go back outside to the source of these images and fill in the gaps of images out there and then re-import the data, either manually or automatically. So you have a lot of flexibility over making this tool work the way you want it to work. So now we're going to focus in on the grouping of products, which allows you to upsell and such and do product daily purchases. So we're going to focus on the merchandising group feature here, and we're going to go into the Quickbuy Groups. So we're going to go back to our PowerPoint here real quick and jump ahead here. So we created these things called merchandising groups, which allows you to group products together for upselling, daily procurement, promotional purposes, and allows you to then feed that data into the site. So we have the different groups here. We have Quickbuy Groups we're going to get into in a second, featured and specials, related and required, substitute products, which are the same but they're different, so that way people can find something that will work if something's out of stock. Promotional groups, you can see I want to feature these groups. I can give 10% off or free shipping or whatever. And variants, which means I want to be able to choose based on size or color or whatever appropriate for a given item. The variants group can be created. So first we're going to focus on Quickbuy Groups, which is what the focus of today's webinar was about. And it's about contractor procurement. We did a lot of research on this and actually talked to a lot of contractors, our clients' customers, and they said we have team members that are texting pictures of handwritten material lists, some are emailing, others are calling. It's a complete mess as a contractor, trying to get some resemblance of structure around this and such. So we heard this from quite a few different contractors, your customers, and said, what can we do to help solve this? So we came up with what we call Quickbuy Groups. So here's a typical list of items someone needs for a project. And then like you said, we can take it, right now they might go through phone, text, email, fax. These 3 methods are all one way. So if any of these items are not in stock or you have no idea what the current price is, you just send this in and you hope for the best. That's the way things are going today. And that's what we're trying to change. Because one way could mean dramatic delays. You may not hear back for half a day on whether these things are in stock or such, and that's a half a day that you can't have. So on the phone you go, and then the phone's busy, you know, or it's after 5 o'clock. So challenges: inconsistent ordering process. Are the items even available? Current pricing. What is the current pricing of these items? Can't track orders in one place. You have all these orders placed in all these different ways. The only way you can track them is calling somebody. More cost to process order. All these orders take more costs than doing it through a web store. So the solution: we create groups. You can create groups called Quickbuy Groups that represent a typical project of your client. It provides a pre-written materials list that just needs quantities, then off they go. It has the latest pricing and availability right here displayed. So they know right then when they're doing this, this thing's available. Is there enough of them available here so I can then cover my project? And what's the current price? Make sure I estimate this properly. All orders are in one place once they're placed through here, so everyone can track from their smartphone, their iPad, or their PC any order that's placed through the web store, or other orders that were placed other ways as well. And it minimizes missing items because everything's here in a list. Consistent and controlled ordering method for their dailies. The goal of this is to get them to purchase their daily purchases through your store. So you have some consistency and you have a lower cost for order procurement and such. So this is the way we think it can happen. And an ability for each of your customers to take these groups and make them their own and customize them to their own needs. So you give them a starting point, and then off they go, and then they can do something with the starting point to make it unique to them. So let's go out and show you this in action. We'll go back into Cloud LSI. We pick Quickbuy Groups here. And you can see circulation pumps is one of our groups here. So we created this group here of circulation pumps for a circulation pump project. If I want to add more to this group, here's the group here. I can say I want to search on a certain category. Say I want to add some pipe to this group. So I come here to the pipe and tubing, hit search, and I can bring up some pipe, add some pipe over to this. All I have to do is click and add, and I can add some pipe to this group, whatever I want, and I continue to search based on manufacturer, or I can search based on a keyword, and whatever I want to do to help fill this group with more items based on what I typically use in a given project, you can do that. You can have your ERP produce a report that says what are my customers typically buying together on a daily basis, and you can then use that as your means for creating this group here, and then come in here and start creating the items and such that way. Or you can come over here and you can say I want to create a group based on rules. So I can say I want to make it based on a certain manufacturer. Let's just say 3M is the manufacturer, and I can add additional rules. I can add as many rules as I need to narrow this down to create automatically the group I'm looking for. So I can say, all right, I now want to preview the matching products, and here I see 3M products coming up. I can then say, all right, good, I'm all set. And I want to then feature these 3M products as a promo or as a quick buy group or whatever it may be through our merchandising groups here. So then you can use that means of creating your group. So here's my group. If I go over to the site, it's being driven by this, and go to my account, I look at Quickbuy Groups. These are the groups you create for your clients. Notice they have their own product groups below here, which are the ones they create on their own or use yours as a starting point. So you come to Quickbuy Groups, and that's the group we just saw in Cloud LSI right here. So they come in here and they add quantities to these different things. In this case, and then they hit add to cart and off they go. Or they can come down here and they can say hit product groups and make their own group out of this and customize it, add a few more items to it and make it their own. So it becomes a very quick way of really seeing a project, seeing the current price and availability here. They can even put their own part numbers here, so they can then relate to this based on their own part numbers, find things based on their own part numbers and such, and then they can then make their add to cart, hit checkout, and off they go. They have their daily order in. Either they can go now pick it up at the sales counter, or they can have it shipped directly to the ship to that's in the system and such, and off they go. Now we have another product called Quickbuy ePad, and this is for electrical contractors that the groups are already created for you. We had an electrical contractor, one of their people split off and decided to make these Quickbuy ePad groups on his own based on his knowledge of what people are buying on a daily basis. And it was his idea to create these Quickbuy groups. So for electrical contractors, we actually have these groups already done. If you come back here one level, you see we have, first log in here again. Quickbuy ePad here. And here's the different groups we have based on conduit size. This guy, Kevin's input was, when someone's doing a project in the electrical world, they typically are doing it based on conduit size or current size or amperage size. So typically half-inch is a 20, 30 amp project. 3-inch would be a significantly larger industrial size project. So if you come into half-inch here and you go to half-inch ePad, this group was already created for you. It's ready to go from the ground rolling. And so everything in this group here is designed for a half-inch project. So everything, you can't buy the wrong item. And even all the way down to the nail straps, the mud rings and such, switch boxes and such. They call it battleships as slang terms that he's put in here. So people can find things based on slang. So all these products in here are based on a half-inch project. And so someone can come down here, either make it their own. And the way they would do that is they put their quantities in. Then they would be able to say product groups and save it to their own group. And if we go over here, we see this person's product group. Here's a group that was created from what you just saw and made their own. So here you see that same grouping, much fewer items of it. Now quantities have been saved. Own part number can be saved. You see the current availability, the current price as of right now being shown. And then you just hit check all, add to cart, and you just ordered your own group and such. So Quickbuy ePad allows you to get groups already created if you're an electrical contractor. If you're not, you have to make the groups yourself based on your own history in the Quickbuy Groups feature in Cloud LSI. But this is a great way of getting a running start on creating groups and such for your clients, either already made through the ePad or on your own if you're plumbing, industrial, HVAC, other types of sectors. So it's a very powerful tool for making it happen. Our customers that are taking advantage of these kind of things are the ones that have the highest sales. So there's a direct correlation between sales and taking advantage of these groups and such. The more you take advantage of them, the more things work out. Another group you can create is related products. This is a related products group that was associated to this faucet here. You have the substitute products as well. Here's 2 faucets that were associated to this one that are identical in all ways. So that's if this is out of stock, which it isn't, but if it was, you can then pick one of these and you'd have that to go and order and ready to go with that. So off you go. So these groups are just making sure no one leaves your site without buying something, or not, and specifically buying even more than they came to the site for, by related products, specials, all the different things you can do to make this happen. So let's go back in and close the loop on our Quickbuy ePad discussion we just got into. Now once again, this is for electrical distributors only. We're hoping we can find some magical person out there that can create the same thing for plumbing and industrial. Right now luckily we found this person that did this specifically for electrical. And they created these electrician-friendly industry slang. So that way you don't have to know what the vendor calls something, you just know what you locally call it in your area. So it's slang related to the different regions of the country. So you can order through us this ePad option and get this content already created. Enhanced ease of use and user experience allows you to have your universal high volume daily material in one place, unique categories of material sort so it's easy to find, and it alleviates that jumping around. If you're trying to put together these groups on your own, you literally have to jump around to 20 different categories and to create the shopping cart, and people just don't do that. They're not going to put together a shopping cart of 60, 70 items. It takes too long. So the whole point of the Quickbuy ePad and just Quickbuy Groups is to create groups that they don't have to jump around with quickly. Here's an example of the industry slang in the ePad. Here's slang for what these are here. This is the item. And so these are the terms that are different around the country. So if you're in a different part of the country, you'll have battleships apparently is the California word for this. And here's what you can then they can find their items based on the slang term they know versus industry terms they don't have any idea about. Quickly find what they're looking for. So the benefits of Quickbuy Groups, all of them, ePad and the regular, is it helps customers purchase and become engaged in your storefront on a daily basis. It's been what's missing. Right now what's happening out there is it's spot buys. People are coming to your site, buying a few items to fill in the gaps of what they didn't get when they were at the sales counter and such. And it differentiates your storefront from the competition and it embeds your existing relationship. So basically, you're trying to keep your customers from straying from the farm. So this is one way to do that. You give them a way of daily procurement means they're with you on a daily basis, not out talking to competitive situations like your national distributors. They don't have this kind of feature, quick buy kind of feature. The importance of being first in. The first in your neighborhood doing something like this is something you cannot overly stress. Customer-friendly tool open 24/7, so nothing to do with the hours of your sales counter. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It reduces your cost per order, higher margins. Study after study has shown you're going to make more money if you're selling through the web than doing it the other face-to-face ways. So let's get into some more of our sites, but that was our basically focus on project procurement on a daily basis. Hopefully you can, if any questions come up, certainly type those in. And I just want to show you a few more things of what we do at Second Phase, and then we'll let you get your Q&A session here going. So let's go back out to the web world here and bring up some of their products. So this is one of our customers here, Steiner Electric. Here you're seeing they're featuring products on the homepage, which came from one of our featured product groups and such. They also have customizations that are very unique to them that they had us create. And this is where we stand apart. It's these kind of customizations that it'd be hard to ask Infor to create for you, or Spotify, or Magento, or one of the other major players, because these are things that require knowledge of how you guys do your business, which is all we do. So say you want a conduit for estimating, you come up here and this guy picks this in his truck, he's got it on his iPad or a laptop or a phone, and then up comes the current conduit he typically purchases on a regular basis and the current price. So you see here, price and availability as of right now that someone could have here or on their phone. Here's the same exact thing on their phone. So now he brings up his phone, sees the current pricing of this particular commodity item, its current availability. He now knows he's got enough for tomorrow's project. He can do the estimate based on actual pricing as of this right now. There's no inaccuracy at all, no time delay. Even if you just called in the morning, there may be a change in price to the afternoon. So this allows you on a phone, iPad, or PC to see pricing at any time. And this was just a cool little feature we did for them called Rapid Price Sheets. They did it for all their key products they typically sell. And it only brings up the items that these guys that are logged in purchases on a regular basis. This guy also has product groups that he created. Basically, we just saw product groups in the other demo here. Here's his product groups. He's taken a ton of advantage of this. And so he has over 65 groups of items he put together for ease of purchase. Here's one of them right here. You can see his part number here. This is an actual login on this site. This is a real customer. Here's his part numbers he has for these products. Here's the availability and price. And if he comes down here, he says check all, add to cart. He just ordered 62 pieces of conduit. I can go in here and uncheck a few. I can go in here and make a few changes to quantities, check and then add to cart again and refine this and make it all work fine. Other things you can do for reorder in the reorder world is we have the save carts. So if you're in a shopping cart, you hit save cart button. People use that a lot for projects that are estimating. QuickPad, they can go in here and they can quickly put in product IDs and quantities, and then boom, a couple of clicks, they're automatically ordering those products. Reorder Pad brings up all the things they've ordered in the past. We have a job management tool which kind of brings all the jobs in one project together, and then they can then use this as a portal for the job where they can share files, they can look at all the POs related to a given project. Here's another custom feature we did for Steiner. They asked us to have a one-click price sheet based on the ordering habits of this guy right here, whoever's logged in. So you pick this price sheet, and it starts right now going out to the ERP and pulling out the current pricing for pipe, elbows, and couplings, and for wire, for what this guy typically purchases. So you can see there's no time delay at all. He knows right now what the current pricing is for pipe and elbows and PVC and wire. And he can email that to someone else. He can email it to himself. He can then print friendly it, or he can export this into a spreadsheet and have it for analysis and such. But if one click, he's got that. So Steiner's taken a huge advantage of our services. They actually pay our premium service plan, and they do new features on a monthly basis. And there's no surprise they're one of our highest selling customers. They're in the millions per year on the web, and they're dramatically increasing their percentage of sales through the web store by really actively working their site and such. Say you want to go back and you want to order something again. You come here to the order list. You can pick the ship to you want to do it related to, a given ship to, hospital, school, whatever it may be. Come in here, look at your order history, and let's go back and you can say, all right, now I want to order something from the past. I can say I want to order this one here again, or like this one here. So I pick that order. It goes out to the ERP right now, grabs that order, and then I can say, all right, I want to order this again. I simply say copy items to shopping cart, and boom, I've just ordered it again. Or I can say copy items to group, and I can make this into a product group like I've been showing you all along here. And that's how you make groups in various ways across the site. You can say, I want to make a group out of this. Then I don't have to find the old order. I can simply pull up the group, call it the name of the client if you want, Rochelle Foods, and then give it some other specific name specific to this project type, and off you go. But this is current information right out of the ERP, even the salesperson's name and such, and that makes it really easy to make this happen. So that's how you can work really cleanly of the site, to do reorders over and over again and make it real easy for someone to make a purchase. If you come to the site here, we can bring up a given item and see the product detail he has. It shows the list price, the current price, customer part number can be added right here. Quantity by branch is available by clicking this, so it's in stock. All the detail and specs information all coming from Cloud LSI. Product features, resource pages that are associated to this, spec sheets, and your viewing history. If you want to go back and forth between multiple drills and such, you can do that back and forth. I mean, cordless band saws, I should say. We also can share this information on the social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, and over 194 other social medias you can click to share this great deal on this band saw kit with your world. Or even people who set it up Twitter groups within their own company. So if you saw this was a great deal, you hit the share on Twitter, and now all the other people in your company will see this deal on bandsaws by one click here. So these are little things that start making your site perform better and better over time. And of course, add my item to a product group, another way of making a group. It's all about reorder and making life easy, and that's something we really, really focus on for our clients, is what can you do to make your site reorder friendly, where they want to come back on a daily basis. That's our focus. Another feature we have is called storefronts. This client here takes advantage of this heavily. This is a customer that really is 8 divisions. And so each division has its own storefront, but they only paid for one web store. So you bring up security division here, and you see everything on here. And if I search for an item, I only find security items. If I search for products, only security products, security vendors. The whole messaging is all about security and such. Even the link, the URL is security focused. So everyone who's buying security items from eDist will come straight to this storefront. They won't go back to this main site. No reason to. The business division, this is their storefront. Same thing. Everything you look for here will be business products. Everything here is all about the business products. And of course, this is going to sell better than one site that sells everything, because each one can really focus in on what their uniqueness is for their world. And then you can even take it to the next level, and you can make a storefront just for your best clients, we call a buyer's guide. So here's an example. The business division here, their biggest client is UPS stores. So here's their UPS storefront. And they only have on here the items that UPS stores buy from them, which is the stamp creator kit. So anyone at a UPS store across the country brings this up. They can't buy anything wrong, because the only thing they sell on here is things UPS stores buy. The ad here is for UPS stores only, because this was specifically created for them. This price is just for them and such. Little video just for them and such. So you can really start fine-tuning storefronts specifically to your biggest clients and only offer what they buy on those. So if they are all over the country, you make sure they don't buy the wrong thing and they get the best price possible, because it only is for them. So you can really take this to the next level, and that's the kind of customizations we can do. Another customization we're in the middle of right now for this client is visual. So here is a client that sells, in fact, we'll go back one page. They sell parts for gas stations. So right here on the visual screen, you can pick any of these parts and bring them right up. Or you can pick something generic even in the gas station here and pick the island here and up comes the island. You can then look different hotspots all over this and pick, I'm looking for a new gas pump handle, and there it is. Boom, visually. No drill downs, no having to type in keywords. Visually, you're looking at the product you want. Here's the discounting that's going on for it. Add to cart, and off you go. So these are the kind of things second phase is doing, and I guarantee you will not get this kind of focus on customization from your ERP or a mega e-commerce platform that has millions of users but not anything related to distributors. So I really want to say that's what sets second phase apart, is we really take it serious of what's going to let you sell more on the web and really stand apart from the other distributors in your area, regionally or even nationally. And these are the kind of things that even the Grangers of the world are not doing yet. Of these kind of Quickbuy Groups, these kind of visual means of finding product and such, because it's hard to do something that's going to fit the whole country with one solution. But our solution allows you to do that. So let's go here and close out with the PowerPoint, and we can get some questions from you. So why second phase? Complete focus on distributor needs. We only sell to distributors in the fastest moving e-sales space. This is why ERP firms have a hard time in this space. It's moving very quickly. They might put out a release or two a year, and that makes it tough. Value price, you can get an ROI year one. No one comes to our price point for the features we have. No one. SaaS, so everything is included. You're always using the latest product. Unlike an ERP-based product, we have a release each month. And whenever you're using our tool, it's always the latest version. So it's true SaaS, which means software as a service. It means you're always using the latest product at all times. It's unlimited support, and we run the whole thing on Amazon Web Services. So it's secure, fast, and reliable. If anything goes down, you'll be back within a minute or two, and it's a nationwide service. It's the same solution that Amazon themselves uses to run, and it's become the #1 means of doing SaaS cloud-based platforms in the world is Amazon Web Services, and we're leveraging that. And we're committed to just getting deeper and deeper and making sure that we're always at the forefront of this kind of stuff, and that's what sets us apart. Our specialty, as I've been mentioning, is custom applications like Quickbuy that you saw for daily procurement, or even the gas station stuff you just saw, or the storefronts, so you can do customizations per your biggest clients and make that happen. You have an idea for a custom application, you call our customer success manager. He goes back and forth with you on what that idea is, and then he puts it out for our tech review process, and then it comes back for a price what that custom app will cost, and then we schedule it within the month or two and make it happen. Try to have that happen if you're ERP. US based, we know you by your first name. We really are trying to stand apart by making sure that we really go for a personal experience. You will be able to call us. We will know you by your first name, and that's guaranteed. And you're not, on that same vein, we're not your ERP and mega e-commerce. We can be nimble and unique. Nimble and unique is absolutely critical in what's going on in the e-commerce world right now. It's changing on a monthly basis, and so second phase would love to be your partner on making that happen. So that's it. I'll put up our contact information here. We have a salesperson focused specifically on Infor users. His name is Ian Williams. He'll be at the TUG conference a little bit later this spring, and you can see him there. You can email him here at ian@secondphase.net, and you can call him at the 303-582-9326. Gary, you out there?
I'm here, Mark. So if anybody has a question, feel free to type it into the question bank or go ahead and raise your hand, and we can handle it over the phone. I don't see anything right now. And just so you all know, again, we did record the webinar today, so it'll be up on the TUG website tomorrow. You can pass it on as a link to anybody else at your company, pass it around the industry, and then, like Mark said, you guys can you can meet second phase at TUG Connects. So, Mark, I'll give it a couple seconds more, see if any questions pop up, and if they don't, we can just close things out. Good webinar, though. Very interesting, the things that you have to say, and you're absolutely right. The landscape and distribution is changing, all the time. So we're constantly looking for good solutions.
Yeah, it's confusing out there, so it's really hard to know what's real and what isn't. So we really try to work hard about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and there's a big e-commerce agenda track at TUG Connects too. We've got at least a dozen sessions on various aspects of e-commerce solutions, as well as, more than a couple e-commerce solutions, including second phase. Mark, I don't see any questions out here, so we can probably go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay, Great. I
So,
appreciate everyone's time. Like I said, Ian at SecondPhase.net. If you have the questions, go ahead and fire them to him, and then we can get to you offline, or call us, or see us at TUG.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, and thank you, Mark. Y'all have a great day.
All right, Gary. Thank you.